This is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show. I want to do a video talking about the Eclipse glasses that they're pushing and telling everybody that they need to wear. And the reason I'm doing the video is because I watch for patterns. I watch for repetition. It's kind of how my brain works. When I see somebody telling me the same thing over and over again, I don't just naturally get programmed by with the repetition. I pull out and see what they're trying to tell me. And then I say, why are you trying to tell me this? Why do I keep seeing this? And is there something more to it? And the Eclipse glasses thing is trending all over the place. And it never used to be like this if there was an eclipse where they're telling you that you need to make sure you have a specific pair of glasses. They're telling you, and there's a lot of stories out there about counterfeit glasses. Are your Eclipse glasses safe? How do you know that they're going to protect your eyes? They're making people very fearful that they're going to go blind. So they're telling everybody that there is a specific number that they need to have on their glasses to make sure that the glasses actually work. And obviously, I think that there's some significance to this because obviously we all know that the government does not care about our well-being. So they're not rolling these out at universities, at schools for people to wear to protect themselves. There's obviously something more to it. Now, I'm not saying that something's going to occur during this specific eclipse. So there's been some type of conditioning going on where all of a sudden we see people wearing these 3D glasses during an eclipse and nobody asks any questions about it. Okay, this didn't start until the 1970s, but it didn't become normal until the last decade or so where we've had eclipses and we've seen those infamous shots of Donald Trump bobbling with the glasses. We've seen celebrities posting pictures of themselves with the eclipse glasses. And to me, that's a conditioning method. Now, one of the other things to note is that 32 million people are going to be in the line of the eclipse, but they claim that 99% of people in the US will be able to get a glimpse of the eclipse. And of course, they tell us that pretty much everybody is going to look, so everybody could be affected by this. And when I talk about Project Bluebeam, just as a theory, I'm not saying that that's actually what's going to occur, but we know they have the technology to do Project Bluebeam, which would be holographic imagery, right? Think about how potentially they would need people to wear something over their eyes that could actually make this imagery happen right in front of their faces. Now, of course, we could all sit here and say, well, they couldn't pull something like that off, but they've pulled off quite a lot over the last couple of years and gotten away with it. So at this point, when they see how much they can get away with, of course, with an outbreak and all the other things and the rules and requirements they put in place, why wouldn't the government be able to get away with something like that? Because all they need to do is put out their basic propaganda where they say that everybody out there who's saying that the government created this or the government did this and it wasn't a real deception, it wasn't really aliens, it wasn't a real rapture, oh, they're all conspiracy nuts. And everybody will believe it because that's what they've already shown us. The behavior of these people they're going to go along because they're communist foot soldiers with whatever the media tells them to do. Now, we've also had other programming in place before I show you some of the propaganda out there to see things with glasses on, right? We all have seen They Live. We all know we've seen tons of memes and GIFs and everybody's always saying stuff about They Live. Well, They Live programmed us, right? With the eyes to see the world in a different perspective. So programming is in place to obviously see a different reality with these glasses on. Now, we can look at the glasses in They Live as a metaphor, but what we can't look at as a metaphor is Big Brother coming out with propaganda after propaganda, telling audiences all across the country about specific eyewear that they need to wear. And on top of that, to look out for counterfeit glasses. Because again, eclipses, they tell us, have been happening. I mean, I don't know what number they're at now with their lies of how long humans have been on Earth. I mean, they tell us the Earth's, what, trillions of years old? I mean, it's infinite years old, the Big Bang. They're always making it up and changing it conveniently to whatever narrative they're trying to push. So if eclipses have been happening that often, how come all of a sudden people need glasses? Oh, right. Well, people need glasses because, they want you to wear glasses. And of course, the last time they told everybody they needed to wear a diaper over their face, they all complied. So we at least know that half the population in America will certainly be wearing their glasses for this event because, well, they're foot soldiers. They'll follow whatever the government says. In fact, some of them are still wearing diapers on their face. And of course, conservatives will do it too because they don't want to have anything potentially happen to their eyes. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on the story in regards to Bluebeam. But let's take a look at the propaganda out there. And there's clearly a message about specific glasses they want you to wear.
While all eyes will be on the sky for April's total eclipse of the sun, your real focus should be protecting your eyes. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello shares the best way to make sure your eclipse viewing glasses are the real deal.
In reality, it's a very big deal, for which you will need very specialized eye protection. Your sunglasses won't cut it because they only filter light. Properly rated Eclipse glasses are essential eyewear.
Excitement is building for Monday's solar eclipse, and as you probably know, you're not supposed to look directly at it without proper glasses. But buyer beware. There are some specs out there that don't protect your eyes. Les Trent caught a guy selling them online.
Here comes the sun.
Eclipse mania is sweeping the country. Come Monday, millions of us will be gazing up to catch a glimpse of the once-in-a-lifetime event.
We are just days away from that total solar eclipse.
But if you want to see it safely, you better have a pair of these solar eclipse glasses.
We've gone through millions of glasses.
Manufacturer Mark Margolis showed Jim Murray what his Eclipse certified glasses look like.
If you look at the sun without approved glasses, what can happen?
Basically, it can burn your retinas.
Do you worry at all about counterfeit glasses?
We are concerned because there has been a flood of counterfeit and copies of glasses that have hit the market.
Could your glasses be counterfeit? We found this ad on Craigslist offering 500 pairs of glasses for just $100. You can watch the total solar eclipse with absolute confidence in your eye safety, the ad claims. The ad features pictures of the glasses with the words NASA approved on.
In any other year, American Paper Optics is the world's leading supplier of 3D glasses. But in a year with a solar eclipse like this one, there's a new focus. Eclipse glasses.
The main difference for a pair of Eclipse glasses versus traditional 3D glasses is the lens. We use an ISO certified lens to put in the Eclipse glasses, and this Eclipse is going to be a much bigger deal than it is in 2017. And there's going to be a lot more people living on the center line. In 2017, we sold about 45 million glasses. In 2024, we're going to sell about 75 million glasses.
So nearly double.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Thousands of orders come in daily. In hopes to avoid the mad dash for glasses like we saw in 2017, the team ramped up their production, nearly tripling their staff. Safety is key. John's team created the Core 4, points to look for to stay safe. You want to look for the name of the manufacturing company and its address, the ISO certification logo and code, manufacturer directions, and that the front lenses are silver while the back lenses are black. It's complicated but necessary because counterfeits are flooding the market.
It's very frustrating for us. These are all either counterfeit glasses or glasses that are not properly manufactured.
This one even has a very similar ISO label on it. So you have to be really careful.
You really do.
Checking off all the items on the Core 4 ensures your glasses have gone through specific safety testing.
This is such an important event, and your eyes are too important. This is it for 20 years until 2044, the next big U.S. total solar eclipse.
For 4.5 minutes of what John calls optical joy, optimum protection will last you a lifetime.
So again, they're telling you to watch out for counterfeit glasses, and then they're telling you of a specific pair that you need to have. The ISO 123122, and you got your 322s all over the place in there. Those are the glasses they're telling you that you need to wear, right? Some of the articles out there saying solar eclipse glasses can be used to safely view a total solar eclipse, but it's important to make sure they're of the right quality. Don't use sunglasses, smoke glass, an unfiltered telescope, and magnifiers or polarized filters as a way to view the eclipse. The only glasses that should be used to look at a partially eclipsed sun is with eclipse glasses that meet an international standard. So a global standard, okay, that everybody should be following this requirement and wearing this specific pair. And of course, they use things like, hey, the other pair will damage your eyes. So everybody go, I got to make sure it's the right pair. And they won't be suspicious of it. Now, again, I don't know for a fact if anything's occurring or it's not. But when I see repetition and pattern like this, when I see them continually using the media to talk about the eclipse with the earthquake, and then to tell everybody to make sure that they have their safety glasses on. I know for a fact that the government is not concerned about any of our well-being, okay? I think everybody out there should know that. I know Democrats feel the same way when they see Trump or Republicans in power. They say that they don't care about us, and they see all this stuff with Roe v. Wade, right? So they should have that mindset. The government, only time they tell us that they care about us, you should be very suspicious. So we saw it with the outbreak. We've seen it with Planned Parents, right? When they try to give you that free pill at the clinic that they want you to take, because it's free, it comes out of our tax money, right? Be suspicious of it. So there's an international safety standard that they're telling us about, which is set by the International Organization for Standardization, which means the glasses reduce visible sunlight to a safe level and block ultraviolet and infrared radiation, according to the American Astronomy Society website. So, again, think about the patterns that we see here, right? Think about them telling us, like this says here, make sure the Eclipse glasses you bought are real, right? And that's what we're seeing in all the propaganda that's out there. They're telling you to go and check your glasses and make sure it matches up. So it's a specific glasses they want you to wear. Now, we'll see what occurs. We'll see what occurs, but we have to factor these things in. When we see patterns and behavior from the government that we never seen in the past, right? We never seen them tell us of a specific pair, let alone, 50 years ago, anyone even wearing these types of glasses when there was an eclipse. There's propaganda piece after propaganda piece out there warning us about it, what we need to do, how do we need to behave during the eclipse, what we can expect during the eclipse, and what we need to wear. So I wanted to do a video just so everybody out there keeps it in mind. In the event that something does occur, because remember, if they use blue beam, and say hypothetically, they use blue beam, and say hypothetically that it would only work if you had these on, right? Let's just say it from that perspective, okay? You have to have these on for the hologram to be visible for you to see, right? It would make sense since everybody who's going to be looking up is going to have these on, okay? And anybody out there who thought, hey, I don't want to wear these things, well, guess what? You might go somewhere, they might require you to wear it because you might walk in and just without them telling you out in the open, they might say, hey, you know what? You got to have these on. You'll go blind. We'll get sued. We don't want to get sued by you coming on our property going blind. So you have to wear these and nobody will think anything of it, right? So if they were going to project a hologram, having these glasses on would probably work better, just like being in a movie theater where you see 3D imagery coming out at your face. Nobody goes, how do they do that? Right? They're just like, I don't know. I'm at a 3D movie, sipping my soda filled with fluoride and every other chemical you could imagine. I'm not even thinking about what's happening. It's just popping up in my face. So if everybody's going to be looking up where they want them to look, and everybody's going to be pretty much, they aren't even going to be forced into wearing these. Everybody's just automatically going to wear them. They don't need to be forced into it. Everybody out there isn't going to think twice. They've seen all the conditioning. They've seen trillions of photos over the years of every single person they show looking at the eclipse wearing these glasses. So it's conditioned them into wearing it. So hypothetically, if they do that, and they did do Project Bluebeam, and they did need these glasses on or specific glasses on to project a hologram image in the sky, okay, all these people will claim that they saw it. And then they could easily go for people like me who aren't planning on even looking up, couldn't care less, but I'm certainly not getting involved in it. I'm not getting involved in some type of ritual, don't want to look up, not interested. Doesn't interest me in the slightest, right? So for people like me, if say this happened, and everybody out there who had these on said they saw something, for the people like us who don't have them on, we're going to go, oh, wait a minute. Well, you all had these on, right? And they're like, well, yeah, we're all looking at the eclipse. Oh, these people are doubting it. Well, you didn't look at the eclipse, so how would you know? And all it would take for people who didn't look was to put the news on because the news will conveniently show it to you. And then they'll be able to control your perception of what actually occurred, right? And they'll say everybody out there who wasn't looking, they're a conspiracy theorist. Look, here's the footage on the news. So these are all things that they call food for thought. But this is what everyone needs to always be doing when they watch the news. Critically think. And again, this could be conditioning for further down the line. But, the more and more I'm thinking about what's going on here, I mean, there's a lot of stories circulating. And again, they love when people pick up on the stories and nothing does occur because they easily can start dismissing stuff. But at some point in time, right? At some point in time when they go, oh, people said that that was going to happen 5 years ago. Oh, they said at the last eclipse. One of these times, they're going to roll out Bluebeam, okay? They didn't patent it. They didn't put all this money into Bluebeam to not use it. And again, as the famous Ronald Reagan speech goes, it's going to take something like an alien invasion or something along those lines for people to actually unite as one and to bring about a new world order, because they're only going to bring one about a new world order if humanity unites as one. So again, it's food for thought. But when I hear these stories and see these stories, this is how my brain operates. And when I remember seeing They Live at a very young, young age. Not that young, but pretty young age, long time ago. Obviously, it came out in the 80s. When I remember seeing it, I was like, this is interesting, right? And we still, to this day, They Live is a very popular movie. It's amongst conspiracy theorists, it's probably the most known movie, most talked about. And the conditioning is what? Put these glasses on and see different things out of those lenses, right? And they want you to wear these glasses while Bluebeam is sitting in their pocket. So potentially something that could occur, not saying it will occur, but just showing you the stories that are out there makes you think, doesn't it? When you see the government constantly put out propaganda in the media about how you have to wear a specific pair that has a patent on it, and any other pair won't work except for this one pair. You got to wear that pair. Well, should make you a little bit suspicious. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.